Divorce is one thing a lot of women shy away from because of the society we come from, Africa. When you talk about divorce, you seem like a failure. It seemed like you did not make the marriage work.
Hey, my country people, Blessing CEO, the relationship therapist, don't fall out. She don't come educate us. She don't come give us some reasons wey make May Edochie never want divorce her husband. My people, this very video is going to be very interesting, and I would like make una watch am to the end. Make una see wetin Blessing CEO talk, like make una see the advice and the tips wey she drop concerning this divorce of a thing. She let us know say for that country Africa, say if woman go for divorce, people go dey feel say na that woman na she be the fault why make her marriage no work, and say if you talk about divorce, e go be like say na you be the failure, and e go be like say the fault e dey come from you wey be woman. And na all those things na still make some women still dey in domestic violence, like they go dey feel say if they go for divorce, that people is going to laugh at her. People will think that the fault is coming from her, that she is the failure in her marriage. And that is one of the reasons why a lot of women wouldn't want to go for a divorce. They would think people are going to put the blame on them, that they are the reason why their marriage didn't work. And in every marriage failure, they put the blame on women. I don't know the reason. They don't put the blame on men. They put the blame on women, that she is the fault. She was the cause. She is the reason why a marriage didn't work. Guys, I would like you to hear from Blessing CEO, hear from her mouth, and this is going to educate you. This is going to make you to know some reasons why some women wouldn't want to go for a divorce. And please, if you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to share with your friends, family, and your loved ones. Hit on that red subscribe button if you haven't yet subscribed, and also remember to put on your notification bell. In that way, you'll be notified anytime we drop a new video. Thank you all so much for my amazing subscribers and my amazing viewers. May God Almighty richly bless you all and grant you all your heart desires. I will see you guys later on my next one. Do have a beautiful and a wonderful day ahead, and bye.
Divorce is one thing a lot of women shy away from because of the society we come from, Africa. When you talk about divorce, you seem like a failure. It seemed like you did not make the marriage work. And in this part of the world, marriage is being built on the shoulder of a woman. It's always a woman's fault for everything. We don't know why, but we grew up to see that it's always a woman that have to put in the effort. So you see many women, they're so ashamed to talk about divorce because they see themselves as a failure. Why am I not ashamed to talk about it? Is because when you divorce, you did not fail. No, you did not fail. It simply means you did not work. Oftentimes, we make bad choices because of ignorance. We are naive. Our level of mental capacity at that point in time, lack of compatibility, lack of comprehension, the fact that we can actually love people so much and we cannot cohabit with them. Chemistry is different from compatibility and cohabitation. You're going to get to a point in your life where you have this understanding, and you will not be ashamed of talking about these things, because a lot of us are still going to make the mistake where we think that it's always about love just to get married. Then when you get into the marriage, you see that it takes more than love to actually be married. You need so much effort. You need so much consistent. You need so much creativity. You need so much intentionality to be there, because people think you just go there and fall in love. You don't fall in love. You walk into love and you intentionally make it work. Number one lesson I learned from my divorce is how to listen. When I was married to my ex-husband, I was young because I got married at the age of 18. So I don't listen. I was the definition of being stubborn. Before he says one, I said two. Before he said two, I have said four. I always have answers to every question. You know that point of our life in your 18 years, 19, 20, your adrenaline is pumping. We're always very hyperactive. We want to innovate, we want to experience, we want to explore, we want to be adventurous. That's the time that is called the peak of your youthful exuberance. So I was married at the age of 18. So at that point, I know they hear word. I get cocoon. I know they hear word. Before he says one, I've said five. Before he said two, I don't talk 10. My mouth was running pra, radio without battery. So at some point, he used to tell me, you have to go and read law in school because I always had answer to every question. Before you even ask me, I have the answer to the question. So I barely listened to anything. So it was always a problem because it came off as disrespectful. You know that point a man wants to talk and you already have something to say. Could you shut up? Let me listen. Now, it led to domestic violence because sometimes, to his own understanding, he had to slap me, he had to beat me to shut me up, he had to bring his mic to shut my mouth. So, as they're beating me, I'm still talking because when you're beating me, I don't keep quiet. I'm still be running my mouth. You're a coward! You cannot do anything. They'll be beating me, I'll still be shouting, you cannot do anything! You cannot do what? I barely listened. I didn't want to listen because I had so much I wanted to say. So, one big problem we have in relationship and marriage is the fact that we don't listen. Everybody wants to talk at the same time. We don't pay attention. Hearing is different from listening. When you hear people, you are hearing to respond. But when you listen, you are listening to understand. You're trying to comprehend and see where they're coming from. But when you're just trying to hear, hey, you're there. So that's what happens to a lot of us. So I'm going to urge a lot of people to listen. When you don't listen in your relationship and marriage, it will damage, it will scatter. Somebody has to talk, somebody has to comprehend. And sometimes we don't have to talk at the same time. Yes, you allow this person to finish talking, you comprehend, give the person time, come and say your own. Because it's when you talk, the person talk, you are arguing as if you're trying to defend yourself. I know many of us women, our mouths, we be lawyer, we are born lawyers. So sometimes you allow them talk, you comprehend, say, okay, no problem, give it time, a day or two, then you say your own. So that it doesn't look like a challenge. It doesn't look like a power tussle. Because my ex-husband was always feeling like I was challenging him. And I was young. He was about 14 years older than me. Imagine when a small girl is challenging you. And I was so tiny then, I was not even blessed to see. I was like one leggy rope. But if you see me that time, was a queen now. You can imagine my drama right now. Imagine when I was younger. So sometimes he felt disrespected. And the only way he felt he could shut me up was to beat me up. That was his own understanding. Remember, I said we're going to get to a point of our life where we grow, where we learn, unlearn, and relearn. So I got to understand that, yes, that's his own understanding of maybe shutting a woman up or bringing up a woman or showing your might or making her respect you. So that was where the domestic violence and the beating came in, the slaps and the blow. I think you're beating me, I was still talking. So I'm going to urge a lot of beautiful women and a lot of handsome men out there to please pay attention. Let's not talk at the same time. Let's listen to our spouse. Let's pay attention to our spouse. See where they're coming from. Let's not be looking for how we want to respond. It's not a law court. People are not fighting. You need to give them your vulnerability. Nobody is competing. It's love. It's not fight. They're not your enemy. So calm down. Listen. It doesn't make you a coward. It doesn't make you less a man or less a woman. You should open your ear and hear word. Hear word. I know you have coconut. Number 2 lesson I learned from my divorce was expectation. When I got married to my ex-husband, I expected too much from him. You know that point you marry somebody and you begin to see them like denim gods. And that's the biggest problem we have in relationship and marriage. The moment you marry people, they're not supposed to lie. They're not supposed to cheat. They're not supposed to, you just place them like gods. No, they are human. And that's why the Bible said, forgive 70 times, 7 times. But there's a problem with us. The moment we're in love with people, we place some sort of expectations on them, forgetting that they are human beings. Now, I learned that the moment you start to love people, you must learn to forgive them. Because the more people love you, the more they will offend you. It is people who are closer to you that are likely to offend you the more. They might not do it intentionally. If people don't offend you, they are pretending. They are hiding. Now, this is the problem. When people meet you in a relationship and marriage, everybody's acting. That first time, we're acting Nigerian movie. That's why it looks as if marriage unveils them. The first month of marriage, they'll still be doing some small mushy, those people that can pretend. But you see relationship, you meet a guy, he's giving you his perfect side, he opened the door for you, he looks his best, take you to fancy restaurant. No, there's something in him. All those ones is acting. We are just acting because, like I once said in one of my videos, we have public action and we have private action. It's not that thing that he's doing in public. That's not who he is. Who he is when he's in private, when nobody's looking at him. That's the reason why sometimes when they tell you that this is who this person is, you can't phantom the public personality and the private personality. If you see my ex-husband, you will call me the troublemaker. You will not believe that he can raise his hand on a woman because in public, oh my God, he's a gentleman, handsome man. If you see my ex-husband, you will marry him. But remember, I said there's a public appearance we display, and there's a private appearance we display until you begin to understand that they are not who they are in public. It's the privacy. That's why you don't know anybody. That's why when you have crush on people, when you get close to them, you uncrush them, because that's when you begin to see the true identity behind the costume, behind the makeup, behind the bougie. So, expectation. We need to start reducing our expectation. I expected so much from my ex-husband. So much. He's supposed to, he's not supposed to. And there is one bad thing about expectation. When you are the person who is always expecting, you never take correction. Because when you are the expectant, you always feel like you're perfect. Expectation build this perfection. I too know we enter you. You will just sit down and be projecting, but you would never make an effort. Even while that person is changing and making an effort, you become the problem. That's the worst thing about expectations. Expectations robs you of your true identity. Expectations robs you from learning, because you are always wanting someone to do something for you that you cannot even do for yourself. You're always wanting somebody else to improve, yet you've not improved yourself. You will see that most people who complain most are the most imperfect people. They can project to you what they want you to be, how they want you to change, what they want to do, but they never get to change. That's what expectation does. Now, the problem now is that person you are expecting to actually does change. They actually do put in effort. But because you are so expectant, you don't also work on yourself. You're just sitting down and expecting them to. So when they do it, you become the problem. Because you already seen yourself as perfect. So even when they are changing and they are evolving and they are even doing that thing that you're telling them to do, you're not even noticing it. Because there's no change on your own part. You've already sat down there and felt like you are one Mrs. Perfect. In fact, you are even doing the person a favor by marrying the person. You are the one that have finished building your life. The moment you stop learning, that's when you die. And the problem with most of us in relationship and marriage is that the man feels that he has overlearned. He's coming to teach you. The woman feels that she has overlearned. She's coming to... Nobody is above learning. Even the smallest child can teach you. Some of us have stopped being teachable. And that's where marriage dies. The moment you feel too big for your wife to talk to you, you feel too big for your husband to talk to you, maybe because you're financially more buoyant, you have this stuff, you start feeling too big. Nobody can correct you. The moment you begin to feel too big, that you are no longer teachable, that's where you die. That's where emotion dies. The essence of having companion is for this person to be able to tell me stop. If you marry people that cannot tell you stop, then you're not in marriage. If you marry people that cannot tell you, baby, where are you going? You're not in marriage. Because the essence why we marry is for people to be able to help curtail. If you want to live a free life, be single. Nobody will ask you where you are going to. Even you now, as you are single, there are sometimes you sit down and say, nobody even call me today. Nobody even ask me if I don't chop. Nobody even ask me where are you coming from. Yes, that's where loneliness sets in. So that's why we need companions, somebody to even check on. If you're not, there are some of us that if our phone don't, if nobody calls us, nobody knows what is wrong with us. And some of you that will stay in your house and be dying till you die, nobody knows if you are sick or not, because nobody calls to check up on you. That is the same freedom you're asking for. So when it comes to relationship or marriage, that's the beauty. Somebody will be asking for you. Somebody will be checking up on you. Somebody cares so much about you. You travel. Some of us can travel. Nobody's going to call us. It can even be only our mother that will call us. That's if our mother even know where we went to. But when you have a loved one, oh baby, I'm traveling. Have you reached? Have you landed? Are you in your hotel? How was it? That's what makes relationship and marriage. That's what makes life beautiful. That communication, that essence of feeling appreciated, special, and loved. So we need to reduce our expectations of people and put it on ourselves. Everything you want people to do for you, it's time to start doing it for ourselves, because the problem is everything you want, you cannot even do it for yourself. You just sit down and be projecting, Madam and Oga.